I grew up, I'm going to be a Marine and go to Camp Lejeune, and we would say it just like that. And then later on the air, I used Lejeune like everybody else did. But 23 years ago, an old radio program director corrected me. He said the Marine base was named for a famous general who came out of the Cajun country of Louisiana, and that it was pronounced Lejeune. Well, I've used that ever since. But since I get so much flack about it, both inside and outside the station, I got real interested in the name and also in the man. So before I capitulate, I'd like to share with you my story about one of America's greatest military heroes. He took us on a Sky 5 trip into the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia and the prestigious Virginia Military Institute that spawned the careers of Generals Stonewall Jackson and George Marshall. It's also where John Archer Lejeune came to serve as superintendent in 1929, after his years as commandant of the Marine Corps. An important building at VMI now bears his name. I talked with the deputy superintendent. General, what do you call this building back here?
This is Lejeune Hall.
You know, down in North Carolina, everybody says Lejeune. Why do you say Lejeune?
We say Lejeune because that was the man's name.
The general had 3 daughters. One of them lives near the campus of VMI.
Lejeune.
Has anyone ever told you that that you mispronounce your own name?
No, because I don't.
Even Peter Jennings says Lejeune.
He does?
The pictures in Miss Lejeune's scrapbook tell the story of her famous father. He was a graduate of the Naval Academy, but took a commission in the Marine Corps. It was in World War I and on the battlefields of France that he distinguished himself as a fighter and a leader of the 2nd Division. It is said that his men loved him. The French admired him, too, for his skill and courage and because he could speak French fluently. Some writers would later call him the greatest leatherneck of them all. When it was over, he would lead his famous 2nd Division in a victory parade down New York's 5th Avenue. Miss Laura remembers.
Red Cross lady or somebody rushed out in the street with a bunch of flowers, and it scared the horse. And the horse went up on his hind legs.
Some years later, the Secretary of the Navy, Josephus Daniels, would name him the Marine Corps' 13th Commandant. His last active years were spent here at VMI, training other young men for military service. Shortly after his death in 1942, the largest Marine base in the world was named for him in Jacksonville, North Carolina. It's the home of his beloved 2nd Division. American hero, John Archer Lejeune.